Well, hello everybody. As you can see, I am not exactly in the office. We are traveling this week for we get close to the holidays. Really want to make sure to get this one in. So the video may not be quite as good as it typically is, but hopefully we can dive in it and give you the full core cutting Q&A that we typically do. So hope everybody had a great week. I hope the weather is pretty good where you are. It's awfully cold and snowy up here. Not a big fan of that. So we'll hang in here. Hello Goose, hello Sean, No Life, everybody. It's great to see you here. So as people flood in, hang with me. I'm gonna share this here. I'm not in my office. I'm traveling with for a little family thing, and that means I'm gonna be trying to get this done a little bit on the fly here. So bear with me here. But if you have a core cutting question, you're watching this on repeat, join me. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm right here. And hopefully we can help you get the most out of your core cutting experience. So, that thumbnail is not my greatest thumbnail in the world. All right. How's the video and the audio? I'd love to hear from you on how that looks. Let me know. And I'm going to share this real quick with across Facebook and everything, so that everybody can come and join us. Here we go. But sounds good, video sounds good, video great. All right, hey, that's better than I expected. I'm using my new Pixel 3. Not so new anymore. I had it for a little while, but still fairly new. It's the first time I've ever done a live show with it, so this should be interesting. But it should also be a learning experience here. All right. Get this out on social media. And we are good to go. All right, everybody. Let's dive into it. So which is better, Hulu Live or YouTube, Hulu Live TV or YouTube TV? Well, that really depends on what you want. Each one offers different features, different sport. For instance, Hulu is on the Fire TV, but YouTube TV doesn't have an official Fire TV. Hulu has some channels that the Fire TV doesn't, or that the YouTube TV doesn't. YouTube TV has some that the Hulu doesn't. So you could really go round and round trying to say one is better than the other. My recommendation is to go to corecuttersnews.com. At the very top, there's a beginner's guide to core cutting. Click on the beginner's guide to core cutting, how to watch cable channels without cable. Right there, you're going to find a breakdown of each service with what channels they have, what devices they support, and more. Just pick whichever one's for you. I think both Hulu's Live TV and YouTube's TV service are great. It really doesn't matter which one you pick as long as you pick the one that offers what you want. So keep that in mind. All right, let's dive into it. Pluto TV. Yeah, Pluto TV is great because it's free. One of the things, no matter if you get Hulu or YouTube TV, I would still check out Pluto TV. NYC, you are correct. Sling TV is dropping some international channels from the Star India package. So if you get the Indian package, they are doing it. That happens sometimes, especially with international channels, for a lot of reasons. They're a lot more hard with the contracts, so keep that in mind. Dean says he picked PlayStation View because they offered the selection of channels he wanted. And Liz Locals in his area. Yeah, there really is no wrong. I would say there's no of the major live TV streaming services. There's none that will say, don't get that service. It's awful no matter what you do. I will say it depends on what you want, because some live TV streaming services offer other channels. Sling TV doesn't have Fox News or Big Ten Network, but they do have the Pac-12 network and a bunch of other news networks that some services don't offer. So which one do you want? Sling TV has MSNBC. Maybe that's all you need. There you go. So just keep that in mind. Will Hulu TV ever get an Android app? Well, the previous head of the Hulu TV app development said that they're not doing the Hulu. They didn't update the Android TV app to add Hulu Live TV because there just wasn't demand. And according to our reports, Android Live TV is a distant fourth place, well behind Roku, well behind Apple TV, Fire TV, and even if you add in things like game systems or smart TVs, it can fall behind there. All right, Can you tell Hulu to update so profile switching can be on all devices? Yeah, I'm sure they're working on that. There's actually a new team in charge of the Hulu app, so I'm sure they're going to be working on adding that feature there, hopefully soon. Optimus is right. If you have a Roku, definitely look in the Zoom app, XUMO. It's a lot like Pluto TV. I know some people aren't going to like me saying that, but it is. But it offers a lot of features that Pluto TV doesn't have, and Pluto TV offers features they do have, so I recommend checking out both. Luke, do you follow the news around how the over-the-air TV broadcast channels are improving their coverage? Yes. We've covered a lot of that, especially with the new 3.0 that'll be rolling out next year, probably starting in some commercial markets. But yeah, we're going to be keeping a close eye on the new 3.0 over-the-air TV standard that promises the ability to have a lot of new locals, better coverage for them. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. Hey, again, I see a lot of new people coming in now. Hey, traveling for a little bit of a family emergency kind of thing, a little family death, unfortunately. So I'm not in the office this week, but I wanted to do the Q&A. Does mean that the quality may not be greatest today, so bear with. Hopefully, we can still answer all your core card related questions. All right, so back to the questions and everything. Here's a cool one. Richard says he just saw a TCL Roku TV ad. Hey, like a TV ad? I don't think I've ever seen a Roku TV ad on TV, or is it like a banner? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I know they do like website banner ads, but I haven't ever heard of them doing one for TV or anything like that. So let me know. All right. Okay, here's a great question from Robert. Robert says, my local TV stations are doing the repackage on the 12th. Does this mean more channels? Erie, Pennsylvania. So repackage, under the previous administration, just a political necessity nowadays, the FCC quite a few years ago allowed stations to sell their over-the-air TV spectrums. And basically with the agreement that they would move to a new spectrum. So there was a set of channel spectrums that they said, hey, these TV spectrums we want to sell off. They're eventually going to be used for part of 5G and other wireless efforts because it offers additional bandwidth to do things like 5G, but not just 5G. So some of these stations over the next couple of years will be switching channel numbers. What does that mean for you? Shouldn't mean much other than when that date comes, you have to rescan your TVs. You're probably seeing a lot of ads like, hey, XYZ date, December, let's just make something up here. December 17th, our local NBC station is switching channels. You will need to rescan your TV. So just keep that in mind. The only thing you need to do, the only thing that should affect you is hitting that rescan button. It's an awful lot like what happened with the digital transition in late 2000s, where you had to rescan if you already had a digital TV when that happened. So keep that in mind. But past that, there shouldn't be anything new there or else you do. It shouldn't bring in any new channels. It should just be what you have now, or maybe one or two less. Will YouTube TV ever get TLC? Could, but don't plan. I don't know. The thing about Light's questions, will this service get that? Will this service add this feature? Is they rarely announce it before it happens. Typically, we just find out when it happens. So keep that in mind. That don't expect YouTube TV to come out and say, hey, January 5th, we're going to add TLC. They just don't do that, unfortunately. Could it happen? Yeah. There's no reason why they couldn't, other than trying to manage the profit margins, because there's only so many channels you can get for $40. So we'll have to see what happens. All right. Duff says, I just got a Roku TV for your mom. Good Christmas present. Not a bad idea. Is there any way to keep the signal on cable when turning on the TV? It keeps going to the Roku home screen. I wanted to say, I'm not sure. I wanted to say there was. I don't have a Roku. Let me see here real quick. I wanted to say there was. What screen your Roku will display? Yes. So yes, you can. I knew you could. So yes, if you have a Roku TV, but you would rather it boot onto, for instance, your HDMI port for your cable box instead of going to the Roku home screen, all you have to do is press the home button, go to settings in the settings menu, click on system, click on power, so settings, system, power, and then there you find an option that says power on. By default set to the home screen. There you can say set to like HDMI1, 2, etc. So yes, if you like your Roku TV to boot to a different input at start each time, it is possible. Settings, systems, power, and then the power on setting is what you find there. Hopefully that helped you. The DVR should be set so you can scroll back if you need to replay that. I may be buffering some folks. I'm on Verizon's wireless cellular network here. I am traveling for a little family thing. I will be back in the office next week. Luke, when will Major League Baseball allow in-market streaming? So that's kind of a tough question. Major League Baseball, according to all reports, is in negotiations for the rights to stream in-market. If that happens, we don't know. They're renewing their subscription. They're renewing their negotiations with all their partners. So Fox, Comcast, AT&T, etc., are all renegotiating their streaming rights in the 2019 season, which may feel like a ways away, but if you think about it, we're only a few months away from pitchers reporting early next year. That seems to really sneak up on us there every year. So keep that in mind. That is in the talks, but at this time, it's not a done deal. As you would expect, cable executives are not very happy about that idea, and they want to push back against it. Someone wants more money, and everybody's going round and round in circles. So we'll let you know when we hear. Oh, here's my non-cord cutting question of the day. I'll take. Hey Luke, sorry I'm a bit late, but I wanted to find out your thoughts on the PlayStation Classic, and how soon before it's fully hacked. Well, I don't know about being hacked. That's not really. Never really got into the whole hacking them. I do have the Nintendo NES Classic and the Super Nintendo Classic, which is really cool. I saw it at Best Buy. A real cool thing about the Sony Classic for the PlayStation 1 is there seems to be a ton of stock. I came in very late in the day and launch day. I didn't buy it, but man, there was Sony Classics everywhere. And there were also, I've seen everywhere, NES Classics and Super Nintendo Classics. I think it's a cool idea. Not necessarily all that big a fan of the game lineup. The reason I almost bought it was having Final Fantasy VII on it. I thought it would be pretty cool. I wish they also had Final Fantasy VIII on it. That would have made it a instant buy for me, to be honest with you. My only complaint is it's got the original one without the DualShock, without the thumb pads. I still enjoy using the thumb pad on it with the second generation PlayStation 1 controller. So that's the only reasons I didn't get it. Channel game lineup's okay, and I wasn't a big fan of the controller. Other than that, it's pretty cool. So good Christmas present if you know a gamer. All right, back to the core kind of questions. Hi Luke, I got a Roku streaming stick on Black Friday. What would be a good live streaming service for me and my family? Well, that really depends on what you want. Pretty much all of them are on Roku. I don't know of any live TV, any of the major top 10 live TV services that are not on Roku. They're all pretty much there. I would recommend doing two things. Make a quick list of your absolute must-have. Not the channels you like, oh, I kind of watch that like once every other month or something. Leave those kind of channels off. Channel is that a host of other things out there. So make a list of what channels you want, and then go to corecardsnews.com, and I'll put a link to this in the show notes real quick right now. But I have a chart there. It's in the beginner's guide to cord cutting at the top of the site, called How to Watch Cable Channels Without Cable, and it breaks down each channel, each live TV streaming service, and what channels they offer, what devices they support. I just put a link to it in the show notes. Check that out. I think it would help you find what you're looking for. But again, it's going to really come down to what do you want. Some of these are going to be exactly what you want. Some of them may not. And what works for me is not going to work for you. So I recommend you check out, pick whichever one works best for you. Houseman says, Luke, Dolby isn't working on Roku. They already did 2 updates. Any clue what's going on? This is the first I've heard of it. Last I heard, Dolby was working just fine on Roku. But, all right. NYC says, Luke, what are your thoughts on Funimation's deal with Hulu? It's great for cord cutters because now Hulu gets first rights to air any anime that Funimation has rights to, which is a pretty large catalog. If you're an anime fan, and I remember being quite excited in the 90s when I was in high school and stuff, and middle school, when like Adult Swim, more high school time for me, came out, or not Adult Swim, Toonami, and like, oh wow, Japanese animes in the United States. But even today, it's still very hard to get anime, and increasingly though over the last year, that's become a lot easier. Netflix is adding Evangelion, which is probably one of the biggest anime shows of the 90s, and a lot of other big anime shows, which were previously basically either you paid $200 for a set of Blu-rays or you had to pirate it, just to be honest with you, is now becoming available through services like Netflix and Hulu. So I think it's a big gain. I think it's something that Japanese anime companies should have done a long time ago. I think some of them would still be around today if they had been more aggressive with supporting streaming and making it affordable for fans there. So we'll have to wait and see. Mavericks is IPTV or OTT service. They're the same thing. Typically, though, if somebody calls themselves an IPTV service, Hulu, PlayStation View, etc., are all IPTV services. The truth is, though, they don't call themselves that. They typically call themselves either MVPD if you're in the industry, or outside of it, live TV streaming services. That if you hear that's IPTV services is usually a red flag. That's some type of piracy. Do you know if the newer NVIDIA Shield TV or newer MyBox are coming soon? Now, the MyBox did come out with an update. Now, the box itself, the specs are pretty much the same. The difference with the MyBox S is mostly a better quality remote, which is, yeah, that was my only real downside to the MyBox. Still think it's slightly underpowered sometimes when you're doing 4K, but it's a good device. NVIDIA Shield could or could not get an update. We had one technically like a year ago, so we're coming up on the 2-year anniversary of it, actually at CES, I believe it is. So it's probably due for an update, a little one. I would like to see them be a little bit more aggressive and maybe toning it down a bit. This is going to sound weird, but I would love to see NVIDIA tone down the NVIDIA Shield and offer a stripped down streaming only version. Because I know there's a lot of people who like gaming, but I think Android TV could really do with a good like $100 type streaming player. Love to see if NVIDIA could find a way to have a $100 version of their NVIDIA stream version. So hopefully they can do that. Do I know if anything coming? No. Has anything been rumored? No. But CES is just a few weeks away, early January. I will be at CES. I'll be covering it all. I already have a bunch of meetings set up with different major core-con companies, so keep that in mind. ET says Comcast is showing but only streaming services that don't threaten their cable experience, so don't expect to find PlayStation View, Hulu Live TV, or YouTube TV on their box. But with your Comcast cable box on the X1 platform, you can now do some things like watch Netflix and watch Amazon Prime Video. What I do find interesting a little bit, excuse me, I'm sorry, don't have the ability to quickly mute this like I do back in the office. What I find interesting is they do have Sling, but only Sling International, which is kind of a good idea for them, because there's only so many channels you can throw through cable, and now they can say, hey, if you want Indie channel or India, my apologies, channels, you can get them through Sling TV and are streaming through Xbox or our X1, which I'm sure they get some type of cut from if you subscribe through it. It's not a bad idea, but it's an attempt to say, hey, don't get a Roku and don't notice all the other cool apps on Roku. Just get our Comcast cable box. We'll give you the stuff that we approve of, that basically doesn't threaten Comcast, and then we'll ignore anything else like PlayStation View, DirecTV, YouTube TV, Sling TV's domestic packages, etc. Any suggestion on a wireless headphones for Roku players? I like the earbud options on select players. Now, here's a couple options. So if you want to get private listening, you want to use earbuds, headphones while you listen to Roku. If you have a phone or tablet, you can install the Roku app, and it perfectly will allow you to stream audio through your phone or tablet, like the Pixel 3 I'm using right now, to your headsets, whether that be wired or Bluetooth, whatever way. Some Roku players have a headphone jack on the side, like the Roku Ultra. And if you have a Roku set of speakers to your Roku TV, you can connect a Bluetooth device directly to your Roku TV. What we try. I mean, if you have money, Bose is great. I'm not a big sound guy. I know this one's too, but that's me. I know there's some people who tell me Sony's better than Bose. Other people tell me can't live without Bose. There's nothing better than Bose on that. So, I would say get whatever works best for you. That doesn't break the bank. But as far as connecting it to your TV, you may want to look at your phone because they can connect Bluetooth to your phone, connect your phone to your TV, and you're all set. Well, routers and modems need to be replaced with 5G. If you have a separate router, like you have a Netgear or Linksys router for your Wi-Fi, no, that will work fine with 5G. The modem does come with 5G. Currently, Verizon and other companies I think I've talked to who are doing 5G already all supply the 5G modem for free. Now, a modem is just like your cable box. It takes the signal from the wall, turns into a little home internet back and forth. The modem for 5G does the same thing, but instead of connecting it to your wall, it connects it wirelessly over there. So keep that in mind that you can currently all of them are free and you will need to replace it. But then again, if you have a Linksys or a Netgear router, or you can just plug that in. Router is the Wi-Fi, modem is what connects it to the internet. Sometimes they're the same device. Walmart has a Sharp 50-inch TV with Android built in. What do you think it will be any good? I haven't tested it, so I can't say. Question, which type? Is it Android TV? I didn't know Sharp was making Android TVs. Last I saw, they were making Roku ones. Maybe they're doing Android TV now. Let me know. Sharp, though, has a good history. I have owned Sharp TVs in the past. I'm pleased with them. I haven't tested that TV. I can't comment on if it's really as good as they say it is. So just keep that in mind. What's your opinion on the Clearstream TV? Do you think it's a good option? Yeah, if you're talking about the Clearstream TV, which takes it's a little device that connects to your Wi-Fi network, plugs it into your antenna, and then streams it. It's not like a Tableau, DVR, Watch Air, all kinds of other ones, but basically streams your antenna out to multiple devices. So I think it's a pretty good device, and I really think it's great. Just make sure it supports the devices you want to stream to, and keep that in mind. It says Android TV built in. Android TV is great. It does have some limitations. Natively, no Amazon Video. Some ones like Sony's Android TV ones do. NVIDIA Shield does, but the most Android TVs do not include that. Make sure there's a Netflix icon on that box. I believe all smart TVs include Netflix on Android TV. Some boxes do not with Android TV. There's also no Hulu Live TV with it. So keep those few limitations in mind. Past that, Android TV is a very good streaming platform with a lot of apps and great support. You just need to be aware of the few limitations with it. All right, I can't believe that Comcast mobile fee is going from $11 to $13. Yeah, I saw that is, in some markets it's going from 10 to 11, and others seems to be going from 11 to 13. Again, though, you don't have to pay it. You can buy a modem of yourself with Comcast and not pay that. And at $13 a month, that's $150. It is late at night here. I've had a very long day of traveling. My brain just completely fried out. But very quickly, you can get your money back and start saving tons of money by not renting your modem from Comcast. Do the most costly indoor antennas perform better than the cheaper ones? No and yes. There is a saying that you get what you pay for a little bit with everything in life, right? Cars that cost more are typically better. The question is are they better enough to justify the cost? And often I would say no. My recommendation with buying antennas is not to buy the cheapest antenna, but not to buy the most expensive one. Is you want to buy something in between. So keep that in mind, because there are some antennas online that will make crazy promises for hundreds of dollars. Take that with a grain of salt. Some of them really are really good antennas. Some of them aren't as good as you think they are. I definitely wouldn't be paying $200+ for an indoor antenna unless it's got like a DVR built into it with Wi-Fi or something. But what I wouldn't be buying the $10 cheap antennas either. So somewhere in the middle. All right. If I haven't answered your questions, please re-ask it, because especially with this being a with this being a stream through my phone, I'm having a more difficult time following the conversations because it is a little awkward right there. But if you could, and you have a question and I didn't answer it, repost it. I'll do my best to answer it. Let me quickly look at something. Here's what really annoys me about YouTube. The live streaming on the admin side when I go through my phone is completely different when I do it through my computer, and I'm not sure where I can get all the stuff. But the good news is I don't think what I'm looking for I really need here. So that's okay. All right, I'm gonna quickly play a short 30-second ad. Why? Because I have full-time employees to pay. I pay and support my family, and I appreciate it. For everybody else, hey, if you're still here, thank you for watching. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Thumbs up. It all really helps us because every week we are doing these Q&As at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're joining us late, you can always watch this. We'll repost this after the Q&A ends and go from there. But again, if you are new here, Dean, yes, there may be some starts and stops of the stream today. Unfortunately, like I was saying earlier, I'm doing this off of Verizon. I have to travel for a little. Grandfather passed away. I'm in town for a funeral. I didn't want to skip another Q&A because it's the holidays coming up, so just keep that in mind. Luke, test out the Dolby Digital. I will, Hustlemania. I'll check it out. All right. Craig says, all my blocked channels on Pluto TV now show up. Yeah, I've heard some other people say that for some reason all their blocked ones. I don't have any answer for that. I would contact Pluto TV support, but if I see anything out there, I'll let you know and see why I can answer your question. Or if I see why that's happening, a workaround to restore those blocked channels on Pluto TV, I'll do my best to answer them and let you know. All right. Luke. This is interesting. Richard said, Luke, I'm not sure you're aware, but Curiosity Stream is having a login authentication problem with all Roku players and Roku TVs. No, I wasn't aware of that. I will check it out. My recommendation is try uninstall and reinstalling it, see if that helps at all. Otherwise, I would contact Curiosity Stream. Country Boy says, we are getting ready to cut the cord at my mom's house. Well, we have an older TV as in some rooms, and would it be better to get a Roku TV or just get a Roku Express Plus? If it's a cheap TV, here's my thing, if you're happy with the TV, depending on what part of the world you are, yellow, red, white cables in the back, $39 is a lot cheaper than buying a new TV. If your TV is like, hey, we really do want that new TV, I would get a Roku TV. It's not a bad way to go. It really comes down to if you're happy, I would stick with it. If you're not, I would go and get a new Roku TV. They're probably gonna be on sale. I don't know this for sure, but Christmas is coming up. Keep your eyes open for a good deal, maybe. Keep that in mind. Divine says, I cut the cord 3 years ago, and it was the best choice ever made. And then I got a Roku. Yeah, I hope you're saving a lot of money. It's crazy how long I've been a Core Card now. It doesn't seem like it's been that long. Coming up on our 6th anniversary running Core Cards News. That's pretty crazy. Will Pluto TV add the Discovery content announced in November? When will they? We don't know. So yes, Pluto TV Discovery announced a partnership which will bring Discovery content to Pluto TV. Now it won't be full live channels of this stuff. It will be selections of content like they announced like Kate Plus 8 from TLC is coming to Pluto TV. How many episodes of that will be? I don't know. But much like how you see like Fox put some of their content on Pluto TV, it's not a live feed of Fox or Fox Sports, but it's content from those networks on Pluto TV. Same kind of deal here coming. Bob says, my $25 50-mile antenna doesn't get all the channels it wants. It gets all the UHF, but doesn't get all the VHF. Yes, not all antennas are UHF and VHF, especially like the one you said you bought that for $25 or 50-mile range. It's a pretty low price. Do a little research. You may want to go buy one that does both UHF and VHF. Suburban areas. I got a friend who has DSL internet and recommended your website for news and updates on where 5G will come. Yes, so 5G is coming to more areas. It actually just launched a couple, like at the beginning, October, November frame for on Verizon. AT&T says by the end of this year. T-Mobile says by the end of this year. More companies are coming in 2019. It will, especially if you live in the suburbs, like you said, it will be coming there. When? I don't know. They say by 2022 or 2020, excuse me, about half the United States, 2022, about 75% of the United States will have one or more 5G option. Now, that doesn't mean that Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile will all be in your location by 2022. And maybe you have Verizon, but not AT&T and not T-Mobile where you live, for example, or like Dish or one of the other companies doing it. The good news is it will be coming to suburban areas. It's even going to be coming to rural areas, but slowly. 5G is really kind of the answer for like municipalities and other people. Rural is the big selling point. For instance, Microsoft announced they're going to bring wireless internet to 3 million rural Americans who are currently, quote, underserved by high-speed broadband. So keep that in mind. Country Boy says, I'm trying to get my grandparents to cut the cord. What do you think is the easiest way? Well, I wouldn't force them if they don't want to do it. It's my first thing. The easiest way is you may want to either look into like the Sling TV's Air TV player, which boots right into Sling TV and gives them a much more of a traditional cable experience. Or if it ever gets to the market, maybe the DirecTV Now streaming player. I have that. I've been testing out. Link in this. Click on our YouTube channel. Look at the recent videos if you want to check out a review of that. But we do have that there if you want to get it. Great thing about those devices is they boot right into the live TV streaming service, much more like a traditional cable box. So just keep that in mind. Past that, I would say though Roku. Roku's just so dirt simple to use, especially if you get one that has the quick buttons for the service like Netflix or Hulu or Amazon. Just check out which quick buttons they offer. Maybe that's the one you want. Does anyone know what Spectrum's internet costs after the $45 12-month period? It can vary wildly depending on where you live, from like 50 something to 60 something to 70 something. Depends on where you live. Again, when that promotional offer ends for your Spectrum internet, I highly recommend you shop around, call your DSL. Don't discount DSL. In a lot of areas, DSL is a good option. Russell says, I've heard anything about Xfinity's app not working on Roku. Say no. I typically focus more on the cord cutting side, so I don't really pay a lot of attention to what Comcast is doing or technical problems they may have. So keep that in mind. Dallas, you're right. Maybe in your area it goes up to 65, but remember, internet pricing and other things vary depending on where you live. Just keep that in mind. Luke, have you ever used a Roku TV made by other manufacturers besides TCL? Yes. If you go to this here, I have other reviews of Roku TV manufacturers like Hisense. There are other ones like RCA. I've had demos. I've been to their booths. Again, you can see right here. If you go back some videos from January or CES, I've got all kinds of reviews of them from CES. TCL is very good about mailing us the review. It's for other companies just like us to come to their location to review them. Movie Fan says, should I switch from a Roku to the new Android box beta from DirecTV Now? No, if you have a Roku, there's no reason to get the new, very locked down, no Netflix, no Amazon, for example, with that. So keep that in mind. And again, I apologize if if the quality here is a little poor. Grandfather passed away. I'm in town for the funeral, and that means I'm doing this off my Verizon cellular connection. So keep that in mind. Mule says, any problems with taking a Roku player on a carry-on? On an airplane? No, I do it all the time. I actually, just off screen in this direction, I have a Roku Express plugged in over here, or Roku Express, a Roku Stick Plus, excuse me, I'm traveling with. That I take with me all over the place, including my carry-on for hotels to visit my parents. Love it, because then all my Netflix is there, Amazon's there, and everything. PlayStation View, can you pause live TV? Yes, for how long? I'm not sure, but it's a good amount of time. Thank you, Altcord. Do you keep all TVs that you review? Most TVs I do get to keep, and some companies want them back. And here's the reality about that. And I actually asked T, TCL told me this is when I asked them like, hey, do you want that TV back? They were very nice about it. They said, we used to take back the TVs, and what we found is half the time, 2/3 of the time, they came back smashed. They said no matter how carefully you pack them, they come back smashed. And for some reason this year, I've had a host of review TVs come in smashed too. So I get what they're saying. They're probably just like, it's almost not worth it for them because more often than not, the TV's not even, they can't resell it as new. It's been used. They would have to sell it as refurbished, and then half the time it comes back as smashed. So that's why they say just keep them. Do Roku have Western apps? Yes, Roku has a host of different Roku channels that focus on Westerns. Also, other major ones like Pluto and other ones have Western content on them. All right. If I haven't answered your question, re-ask it. I'm going to do my best to answer it. Again, since I'm not in the office, I don't have all my I usually have one monitor where I'm talking. Then I have other monitors on each side of me. I only have my laptop today, so this is a little bit more difficult. My friend upgraded her DirecTV equipment, and then Star said it will stop working as of April 2019. Have you heard anything about that? No, I have not. Just like never trust chat support, never trust installers because most installers are actually not employees of AT&T. They're independent contractors through third-party companies and stuff. Actually, independent contractors may not be the right term, but they're often are authorized dealers or something like that. So keep them in mind. Colin says, have I tried the new Roku speakers for Roku TVs? Yes. Click on our Core Cars News YouTube account. Click on the videos at the top. Scroll down a little bit. You'll find a video of us reviewing it. The written review actually turned out better than the video review. I'm going to reshoot that video review when I get some time. Brad says, AT&T is stripping their channel selection on DirecTV Now. I choose DirecTV Now because they had everything I wanted. As a sports fan, how does this affect me? So the president or CEO or whatever, CMO, whatever his role was at AT&T this week, said that they want to raise the price of DirecTV and they want to thin it out, was his words, to the content people want. What does that mean? The tough part is, if you're like me, probably the content you love is the content that's going to get thinned out because no one else likes favorite dishes. Am I the only one that happens to, where you're like, I love this, and every time I love it, the restaurant gets rid of it because they said no one likes it? Quiznos did that to me. Applebee's has done that to me. I could go on and on. What channels are going to be dropped? We don't know, though. When will this happen? We don't know. When will a price hike happen? We don't know. Probably in 2019. It's kind of what we're looking at. But what does it mean for you? We just don't know. I wish I could answer that question, but we honestly just don't know. All right, next question. Mule says, any info on what will happen with Fox Regional Sports Networks since Fox sold to Disney? Yes, the deal's not done, but Disney agreed with the Department of Justice that since they own ESPN, also owning the Fox Regionals would be too much anti-competitive power, I guess. I don't know, monopoly, maybe a better term for that. So Disney agreed in order to get to close the deal that they would sell them off. There's many bidders, according to reports. Amazon's even bidding for the Fox Regional Sports. Rumors were YouTube would, but last I heard that YouTube hadn't actually put in an offer, but the bidding is still happening, so YouTube may have done that at a later date. What happened to them? They're going to get a new owner. About the same time that Disney closes the deal with Fox, somebody also closes the deal to buy Fox's regionals. Fingers crossed. Is YouTube TV app having issues on Apple TV? It takes a few seconds to load video and sound. When it does load, it works fine. Yes, so Google, and I have a story over at corecarsnews.com, just posted today. It's on the front page right now, corecarsnews.com. YouTube has confirmed that they are working on a fix for their YouTube TV app and Android TV. The quality has been poor since a recent update. They're trying to track down what is the cause of the subpar quality and the long load times. Fire TV, Roku, and not Fire TV because that's support. Android TV and Roku are not affected apparently by this outage. I was just watching YouTube TV on a Roku 6 that I took with me. No issues. But Apple TVs are having that issue right Are there other issues for live sports other than watching through Hulu, PlayStation View, etc.? It depends on what service you want or what sport you want. I mean, an antenna for some of them, like NFL, most NFL games will stream or air for free with an antenna. Not all, but the ones aired in your market. The other thing is some of them have, for instance, NBA League Pass, MLB.TV, and more as options. Again, though, out of market options, which can be a little difficult. So keep that in mind. Oh, Jason says, moving my hand on screen seems to cause some video glitches. Probably because the speed, the Verizon speed here is poor. I'm in a basement. So again, I apologize. I'm traveling. My grandfather passed away. I'm in town for a funeral. I'll be back in the office next week, but I didn't want to miss the Q&A here, so I'm back here to do a but doing it off of my cell phone. What streaming service do I use most? Probably a tie between Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon. I'm mostly an on-demand kind of person. I watch live TV for sports, like I watched the Michigan basketball game last night, streaming online. But past that, if it's not sports, I usually just watch on demand. Sports and news. I'm kind of that person. Prices are going back up on DirecTV now. Yes, so AT&T has been saying that they're like in the $50 to $60 version of streaming available with. There will be a cheaper version of DirecTV now under the DirecTV brand. Sometime in early 2019. What that means, we don't know. All right. Justine says, what is the 5G you're talking about? 5G is basically the next generation of wireless internet. There's 3G, there was 4G, now there's 5G. 5G will work with some phones next year. They have announced some Samsung phones are coming out to Verizon and AT&T. I believe both of those are going to get those from Samsung with 5G chips built in. But it's primarily being built for home internet. Verizon already offers if you're a Verizon customer, $50, $300 down, no data cap, no modem rental from Verizon in a handful of cities. AT&T's got 5G launching later this year. They already are technically in Dallas live, but I don't think they have any consumer devices to take advantage of. So keep that in mind. The other part there is it's going to take a couple years for this to roll out. Just started a couple months ago, and like all things, it just takes time for this kind of stuff. So yeah, 5G, faster home internet, faster set wireless internet, and more importantly, competition for home internet. Here's a great one. Jump back to the comment about sports. There are some free sports ones like Stadium. If you're a sports fan, you're looking for free sports options, check out Stadium. They're really up in their quality there. If you check them out in the past, I think you should check them out again. They really are a good option. Luke, when does Disney expect to fully complete the Fox deal? I would expect in 2019. When, we don't know. Justine, your old phone will not work with 5G. Remember, 5G is really not to use 4G just like you are now. I wouldn't worry about having to upgrade your cell phone. 5G is really about home internet, so keep that in mind. Mood Fan says, true or false, if you get the beta Android box for DirecTV now, it's yours. Yes, it is yours, but it only works as long as you have a DirecTV subscription. If you don't continue to pay for DirecTV, your box becomes basically bricked because you need to be logged into DirecTV now, to use the DirecTV Now streaming player. Luke, do you think Disney will ever get full ownership of Hulu? Very likely, very likely. According to reports, both Comcast and AT&T, who owns the other 40% of Hulu, have basically said that they're interested in selling their shares to Disney. So will it happen guaranteed? Not guaranteed. Is it very likely? Yes, it is very likely. Am I happy with the Fire TV recast? It is good. If you're not 100% sold into the Fire TV ecosystem, it's not a good one. If you, for example, have Fire TVs in like the living room, or maybe in the bedroom, but in the living room you have a PlayStation or a Roku or a Xbox, it's not the option because the device support is very limited versus getting like a tablo DVR. And when you get a tablo DVR, you get like a you get a whatever their dual light, that's the one, plus a lifetime subscription. The prices are fairly close right there. So I would say if you're 100% in the Fire TV ecosystem, it's not a bad option. If you're not 100% in the Fire TV ecosystem, also use Roku's or DVD players or smart TVs or Xboxes, I wouldn't get one. What will happen to Hulu Live when Fox and Disney close their deal? Nothing, because they have contracts, and these contracts will go on for quite some time. And so Hulu has all these contracts in place, so I wouldn't expect anything to change immediately. Justine asks, what is a beta? A beta is a public test, so if you volunteer to be a beta tester, basically you're agreeing that I'm going to take a device and test it out, and with the understanding that it's not a finished device, that I'm here to send my feedback about the device and let you know what I think about it, and that it may or may not have glitches in it. Just keep that in mind. Luke, do you see the DOJ allowing Disney to have full control of Hulu? Yes, I do. With Comcast and AT&T and over 100 other live and on-demand streaming services out there, and Netflix and Amazon, most importantly, Disney owning Hulu is not really an anti-competitive position in the same way like Spectrum buying Comcast or Comcast buying Spectrum, et cetera would be, if that makes any sense. There's so many competitions out there, competitive services. The competition is so huge that you can't get around that. How do you become a beta tester for the DirecTV Now's box? You have to be a DirecTV Now subscriber. You have to have received an email from them asking you to be a beta tester. I received one, I filled it out, and I was one of the first people to get one of those boxes, which was pretty cool. Cameron says, I like that the Amazon PlayStation View live channel guide Yeah, so earlier this year, PlayStation View teamed up with Amazon. Fire TV is this channel guide. Excuse me, I've been traveling a lot, and it's definitely catching up with me with all this talking. But PlayStation View and Amazon teamed up to integrate PlayStation View into the Fire TV's channel guide. This is the same channel guide where if you have a recast, it will show you like the channels from your recast. It is pretty nice, and I do agree. It's a better one than the one that PlayStation View has in their native app. And all it really does is just display what's on TV. If you click on it, it launches you into PlayStation View. My thoughts on AT&T greed? Well, that's a loaded question. That's very loaded. Is AT&T being greedy? You can make the argument. Are they being a good business? You can make the argument. I think it's a little early to say, are they really greedy or what's happening here? My recommendation would be let's wait and see what it really looks like, because all we have is some executives talking at a conference. Executives have a way of saying things that end up not happening. Not that it may not be true right now, but may have just been something they're talking about, hadn't actually decided if they want to do it that way or not. Be aware of the fact that often when they say stuff, it doesn't line up with what really happens. So I'm going to wait and see, are they really raising the price? Is this really what they're going to do? Will DirecTV satellite really be cheaper than DirecTV Now? So let's kind of not freak out and wait and see what happens. There'll be plenty of time once they actually do it to say, you know what, that was a dumb decision of AT&T. I guess that's my opinion right now. Until then, let's see what they actually do. What's my opinion of Philo? If it meets the channels you want, it's a really good service. All right. If I have time for like one or two more questions. My voice is going a little bit. It's kind of late here. Busy day, doing a lot of stuff. So get one or two more questions in, and I'll do my best to answer them. When is the DOJ going to have get involved in the Dish and HBO? They may never. It's just a contractual obligation between two companies. And here's one. I got a paper thin and top antenna. I get 88 channels all local. So yeah, some areas can get well over 100 channels with an antenna. Indoor antennas. If you're not using an antenna as a cord cutter, you should. I know for like 5% which of Americans, which still represents, excuse me, still represents millions of Americans, antennas aren't a good option. But for 90 some percent of Americans, an antenna is a great option and really should be part of your cord cutting setup. Any streaming services that only have sports, not at this time. DAZN is trying to build that, but it's not there yet. Would be cool. But I think we're moving towards, I think not, instead of having a live TV service that's nothing but sports, I think we're moving towards like Major League Baseball Sound Direct, NFL Sound Direct, NBA. All these places are talking about that idea. Would not surprise me if 5-10 years down the road, instead of getting a Philo, you just subscribe to the NCAA. You pay them $20 a month, and you get every college football Division One game, maybe even Division Two. Won't be surprised if the NFL is already talking about taking Sunday Ticket back from DirecTV and doing it themselves direct to you. So it would not surprise me that that's the direction we're going to go in the future. Luke, what's going on with the AT&T Time Warner appeal? This month, there will be a hearing where the DOJ will get there to make their arguments why there was some type of mistake made by the first judge. And I'll be honest, I'm not necessarily surprised that the Time Warner AT&T merger was approved. I am surprised it was approved without any concessions being needed to make on AT&T's part. Look at Disney agreeing to sell off Fox regional sports channels. You look at the Comcast deal where they agreed to all kinds of limitations in order to buy NBC Universal. I am surprised that there was no conditions on the AT&T deal. So keep that in mind. All right, everybody, I'm going to cut it off right there. My voice is going. It's been a long, long day. It is way too cold up here in Michigan. It is unbearable, truly unbearable. So hope you have a great day. I will see you next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here at CoreCarsNews.com, youtube.com/CoreCarsNews. Also subscribe if you're new here. All kinds of videos, reviews, how-to guides. If you're only following us on YouTube, make sure you follow us over at CoreCarsNews.com, because every day we're posting guides, reviews, news, tips, and tricks all about cord cutting. Often 5, 6, 7, sometimes 10 or more stories every single day. So check it out. Appreciate all your support. Thank you for all the condolences. It really means a lot. I hope you all take care. I will see you back. And again, thank you for your support. Next week, I'll be back in my office, back down in Texas. Take care, everybody. Be safe.